Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today is a really exciting one. Too exciting for chicken, apparently. It's the first video of 2026. How exciting. Welcome to the new year. I hope you guys had a good New Year's, whether you celebrated by going out with friends, going to a party, seeing in, that 12 a.m, 1 a.m. for some of you, or whether you just stayed home, like me. Oh, and like Ruddy. Dad, right? Yeah. Whatever you did, I hope you had a good time. I hope the start of your year is going really well. Today we are doing something very exciting for me. Probably not for you, but for me. And I am setting my goals for 2026. So that includes wrapping up my goals for 2025, seeing what I did and didn't achieve off of my list. And then what I do is I write like myself a little summary of everything that happened in that year. And then I sit down and I write my goals for 2026. So I thought I would bring you guys along. I did this with you guys last year. If you want to see that, go and find my video from last year. It'll be in one of my playlists somewhere. I don't know, go for a hunt. Other than that, I'm kind of keen to just get into it. I'm doing this a little bit early because you guys will know that I pre-film a lot of my content. So for me, this is early to be thinking about the new year, but I am very, very excited because I have a lot of things in my mind for 2026 that I'm really keen to get going like ASAP. So I feel like if I have the list, then we're already good to go, right? Right, sure. So I'm gonna start by going over my goals for 2025 and I will read them out to you and I'll let you guys know what I did and didn't achieve from this list. So I feel like this was, I was gonna say a shorter list than usual, but it wasn't. I think it was just a little bit different way of approaching it than what I normally would. So my first goal was to visit home, which we did twice and it was fantastic. So I'm gonna tick that off. My next one was read one book per month. And I did not accomplish that, and I think it's the first year in about 3 years that I've not accomplished that. And it's sad, but there were reasons. If you watched my recap video of everything I read this year, you will know why. If you didn't watch that, go and watch that. It's a lot. My next one was upload consistently on YouTube, which I did. Not only did I do that, but I even believe I did a couple of like bonus episode weeks and started uploading shorts, which is awesome. Considering my goal was just to stay consistent, I feel like not only did I achieve that, but I did way better than I expected myself to. So big tick on that one. My next one was travel somewhere new, and I am going to tick that off because while we didn't go overseas this year, which I think was like initially my kind of thought process behind that, we did go to some new places in Australia. We went to Great Keppel Island was the big one for me because I love it there and I'm going to go there at least a couple of times a year from now on. So I'm going to count that one as a success. Spend more time on my hobbies, which absolutely I did because I made most of them into videos for you guys to watch. So you guys can attest with me that I achieved that one, but I did actually do some things like obviously I did a lot less reading, which is my favorite thing to do, which does kind of make me sad, but I did branch out into like a lot of new things that I kind of don't have experience in, I guess is probably the best way to say it. Like I did some model building, some like painting, things like that. So just tried new things this year and it was really fun. I think it's definitely something I'm going to do more of next year. Next one was start a long-term savings account, which I did technically do. Is there any money in it right now? We're not going to discuss that. I think I'm going to tick it off because I have done it and the intention is there and I have been putting money into it, but I think everybody who's just like an adult who puts up with adult life knows that sometimes all you want to do is save money and life is just like, all the time. Like I had over $1,000 in that account and then Christmas happened and then like I had to pay for stuff for my car, which blanket get fucked on that one. So I'm going to tick this off because I have done it and I've had good intentions, but I think I can do a lot better next year. Get an agent or publish a book. Now, I kind of broadened this because my usual goal is finish writing my current project that I have been working on for many a year. So I kind of broadened it to publish a book because I have multiple projects on the go, or to just get an agent to start like the process in sort of a way. And while I didn't achieve this, which does make me sad, I did at least try, which I feel like is a step better than what I've done in like the last few years of doing this, because I always put that I want to finish writing my fiction book, and then I always get down at the end of another year where it hasn't been done, you know. And I have worked on it. I've done a lot of work, but it's a big project and it's one that's really special to me. So I need it to be perfect before I'm going to call it finished. However, I do have other projects that I'm working on the side that are finished and that could be out in the world, you know. So I did approach a publisher this year, one who is not currently taking submissions, but I'm going to stay in contact with them for when they hopefully are, and one that I did submit a piece of work to, but ultimately they said that it was a little bit too niche for them, so they didn't think they could offer me the like support and marketing that the book would need, which honestly is very disappointing, but at least I tried and I appreciate their honesty. Like, I would much rather have them say, no, we don't think this is for us and we don't think we could do it justice, than them say yes and it be just an absolute flop because it didn't get what it needed to be out there, you know. So I'm going to keep trying. It's definitely something that's going on the back burner for me. I would still very much like to publish a book in my lifetime in some form or way, and I'm not done, but I do have a lot of things on my mind that I want to do and that I want to try, so it is going to go a little bit more on the back burner from here forward. And my last one was to put my health and happiness first, which I'm going to give the biggest tick possible, because not only am I probably the happiest I've been in a very long time since I've moved to Australia, even though yes, it is bloody hard, and yes, some days and some weeks do make me wonder if I've made the right decision. Overall, I'm doing so much better here than I was in New Zealand. And health-wise, I mean, absolutely. I haven't really lost too much weight this year since coming off of weight loss medication. I came off of that in February after losing about 12 kilos, but I have been able to maintain that weight loss and not gain anything back. I've gone to the gym, I've done a huge fundraiser that raised over $1,000, where I walked 60 kilometers in a month, which is absolutely massive for me. I have put myself and my health especially first this year, so much more than I ever have before, and I'm so proud of myself for that, because I do find that I am not the best advocate for myself a lot of the time. I also just want to say that in terms of like happiness, obviously it is a little bit subjective and a little bit fleeting, and I can sit here right now and say that the last couple of months honestly have been pretty rough. It's been very busy, it's been very, up and down, and dealing with a lot of things that I've never dealt with before that have been really hard, both physically and mentally, including him. I love you dearly, but oh my goodness. You just want to get comfy, huh? Yeah. Get comfy. Get comfy. Good boy. But overall, like the course of this year, there have been really low lows and really high highs, but nothing as low as what I was experiencing in New Zealand. So to me, that's still a win. Like I said, I have a lot of things planned for the year coming that I think are going to make a lot of changes to my happiness especially. And I just kind of have to wait and see how they all play out. And I think that's the worst part about a lot of this, isn't it? Because you can try and you can put things in place and you can have so many big hopes and dreams, but you never know exactly how it's going to work or how things are going to go. So ultimately the year of 2026 for me is just going to be a year of trying new things, a lot of, I think, and just relaxing a little bit and seeing how things go and putting my finger in a lot of different pies and just seeing where life takes me, which is definitely not me. In fact, it's the complete opposite of me, because being thrown into the unknown causes me great anxiety, but I'm excited to give it a try, I think. So that's the last goal that I had for this year, and I achieved all of them except 2. There was 1, 2, 3, 6. So 6 out of 8. I don't think that's too bad, to be honest. That's pretty bloody good. That's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take just 5 or 10 minutes and write my summary for the year. So it's basically just a bit of everything. I try and include as much as possible. I write it on the bottom of this page and the back, but I keep it to that. So we're not rambling, we're not getting ahead of ourselves, we're not going too deep. It really is just a skim off the top of what happened for the year. And then we will come back when I have decided what my goals for 2026 will be. Now, I do a minimum of 8 goals for myself every year, because I feel like 8 is sort of that sweet spot for me of not too few, not too many, and there's just a lot of sort of wiggle room around it for me. There leaves a lot of room to achieve more, because, you know, I make this list in January, or at the end of a year, basically. I make this list in December of every year, and usually by June some of my priorities have changed or realigned or altered in some way. So by not having too many strict goals for myself, I allow that wiggle room that sort of allows me to branch out but still accomplish things and still be on track in a way, which is really important to me. So I'll be back in 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to write my little summary for myself, which no, you guys don't get to read. I'm very sorry, but that is private, because it's literally everything that's ever happened in my life over the course of the last 12 months. But yeah, I'm actually gonna have to think about this for a really long time, I'm not gonna lie. That's the main reason that you guys don't get to see any of this, because it's just a lot of me sitting here staring, trying to remember what the fuck happened 10 months ago. I'm not gonna lie, team, I've done my summary and I've been sitting here for like 30 minutes trying to think of goals for next year. I've got 4, so I'm halfway. This is always the hardest part. I wish you guys could help. Okay, it has been literally an hour, but we got there. It took me so long to figure out not only what I wanted my goals to be, but also how I wanted to word them. I think that's very important. Oh, there you are. Hello. Come up here. I thought it was that cat meowing. It's this one. Okay, so I actually ended up with 9, but a couple of them are sort of similar, so I think that's okay. So the first one is visit Japan. We have our Japan trip booked for May 2026. Yes, that's correct, May 2026. So not only is that going to be a dream of ours coming true, but also it is how we're choosing to celebrate our 30th birthdays. So that's pretty exciting. That's number 1. The next one is to sell our house in New Zealand so that we can, number 3, buy our own home here, which is kind of what I meant by 2 very similar things. We can't do one without the other, you know. It sort of like feeds off itself. So very excited to sell our house. That has been in the works for a very long time, but also equally as excited to get our own space and find something that we love here. I'm so excited for that. I have put down read 1 book every month again, because I feel like that's not that hard. You know, I am a very slow reader, I will admit it, so sometimes it can be a bit hard, but I want to practice what I talked about in my Everything I Read This Year video, and if I come across something that I don't like or that's holding me back or putting me in a slump, we're going to practice in 2026 putting it down, walking away and starting something new, so that we can make sure that reading is a positive experience. That, and I already have like 7 books lined up ready to go, so it should be fairly easy to get to our goal of 12 this year. The next one is just to continue putting my health first. So I do tend to go through phases where I'm like, someone's messaging me, where I'm like kind of up and down with committing to things. Like at the moment it's the gym. I'll go for a few weeks or a month really solidly, and then I'll take a few weeks off. So it kind of is up and down, and that's okay as long as you're still going back to that up phase. So at the moment, you know, it's Christmas, it's the holidays, you're not really making like your doctor's appointments, your physios, all that kind of stuff. But as long as I get back into it and keep prioritizing that, that's my goal. That's what I want to achieve this year, to make sure that I'm getting healthy but also staying healthy. This is where it became kind of difficult for me, like wording wise. I was kind of sitting there going, oh, do I want to go to the beach more often? Oh no, maybe I should change that to just get outside more often. And then I ended up kind of whittling it down and thinking about what I was trying to actually achieve by doing those things. And I ended up just putting down, spend less time doom scrolling. Because let's be real, we all do it. That's probably what I spend the majority of my time at home doing, is doom scrolling. And it really is just wasting my life. So I've put to spend less time doom scrolling, and that could be reading instead, it could be doing a craft, it could be getting outside, going to the beach, doing those sort of things, just doing something with my time that is not doom scrolling as much as I do now. Also, the next one kind of again feeds into that, and it is to try something new every month. So again, I wanted to put like try pottery, get out of my comfort zone, go out with friends more, things like that. And in my mind, I kind of just compartmentalized that down into trying something new every month. So whether that is something with friends, whether it's something by myself or something with Mark, whether it's going somewhere new or doing an activity, just something that's new. I do want to get into our community a little bit more, go to a lot more community events in 2026, because Rockhampton just has so much to get a part of. So I think it's going to be fairly easy to find things that we can attend and try out and just do more with our life here. Try something more, get some more experience, and just find things that I find are fun that I can add to my like list of hobbies that I have. My second to last one, I have written down educate/upskill myself in some ways. So I have in the past put down things like finish an educational course. I was doing a bachelor's degree for a while, so I wrote like get my bachelor's degree, and I didn't end up doing those things. No, I don't want to talk about it, but it kind of brought like a real negative feel to that kind of thing when it comes to studying. I do find it very overwhelming, very difficult, and I didn't want to put that pressure on myself, because failing the act of like studying or whatever it might be is hard enough, and then reminding yourself that there was something bigger that you have also failed to go along with that is really, really difficult for me. So I'm sort of put educate or upskill in some way, and that could be, yeah, going and studying a course of some description, but it could be doing something a bit more hands-on, maybe volunteering and getting real life experience rather than a qualification. I did talk about for my books, I have already picked the first 7 sort of thing. 6 of those are self-help, self-development books that I want to read. I listen to a lot of podcasts and things like that that are like self-development, upskilling, things like that. I just want to do more things that activate my brain and grow my brain, because I do have one. I just rarely use it anymore, and I know that I am happiest when I am driving towards something, when I am utilizing my brain, utilizing my passions, and doing things that make me feel like I've accomplished something. So while it not be, you know, sometimes I get on a roll where I feel like I sound smart, and then something like that happens and it reminds me that I really do have just like a tiny little peanut brain bouncing around in this head. I was trying to say, while it might not be sitting down in a classroom and getting some sort of written certificate or qualification, I just want to make sure that I am using my brain and using my abilities and continuing to grow as a person in some form of way, whether it is like something to do with my job and maybe upskilling in that sense of things, or just developing myself as like a better human being, because I'm trying really, really hard to do that over these last few months, and I want to try harder going forward. So that I think, is probably my second biggest goal for 2026, and my first biggest goal is the one that I left till absolute last. I decided that I wanted to put this down first, but waited until the end to kind of add it, and it's going to sound really corny and really cheesy, and a lot of you are going to go, ugh, add it, but I literally just wrote, follow my dreams, because I've been putting that off a lot, for years, actually, and I didn't want to be specific and say, do this one thing because that's your dream, do this one thing because that's your dream, because my dreams do kind of evolve and change a bit as I do, as the year goes through, you know? And so, like I talked about earlier, I've been trying to publish a book for so many years, but that's just one of many, many, many dreams that I have. And I've been kind of concentrating on that, and the fact that I haven't achieved that makes me feel bad about myself. But I have so many other dreams that I could also be working on, and there's no reason that I can't work on all of them at the same time or throughout the year, interchangeably work on those things. So for me, for this year, as long as I'm following one of my dreams in some capacity, that's enough. As long as progress is made, as long as I'm happy, as long as I'm fulfilled and feel like I am finding my purpose in this life, that is going to be enough for me for 2026. Obviously there's a lot of things that I still want to do and want to think about and have going on. I'm still very, very much working on my 20 things before I exit my 20s list that I made for myself, but I didn't want that sort of goal to kind of coincide with these goals, you know, everything's different, and I didn't want to just like mash them together. That felt like a little bit of a cop-out for me, so I'm still working on my 20 in my 20s goals. I'm still working on all of these things, and I still have other things that I haven't written down anywhere that I am still just chipping away at in the background. There's a lot going on and a lot that I want to do, and I feel like because in 2025 I spent so much time just working and doom scrolling and just trying to get by and figure things out, I just have really high hopes for 2026 that maybe this is the year where everything starts to pay off, you know? And that doesn't have to be in like a big, grand, expensive way. You know, it could just be these tiny little steps that kind of prove to me that I have been doing the right things, that I have been working on the right things for all of this time. And I'm excited. I'm nervous, as I always am going into a new year, but I spend a lot of my time just excited and figuring it out and continuing to try and figure it out, and that's just what we do, you know? But that's it for this video. This is a sit down and chat sort of thing that I don't know if you guys are even really interested in watching, but I film it because it's one of the most important things for me to start my year out on a good note, and I like to share that with you guys. So if you guys did like this video, please leave me a like and a comment down below. Maybe you can tell me one of the things you want to do for yourself this year, whether that's something like what I've got on my list or something completely different. I would absolutely love to hear about it from you guys, and if you want to steal any of mine, or if you want to start a list like this, please absolutely do, and let me know that you've done it. If you want to see more of my content, I upload a full-length video like this every week on a Sunday at 7 AM Brisbane time, and I also upload shorts, so make sure you go to my channel and check those out. And other than that, I will see you guys next week. Bye.